Okay, so today we're here with Mia and we're going to talk about a project that we're doing together where we want to give a voice to divergence, humanitarians, whatever you want to call it. Basically, people who have a positive outlook on life and want to take advantage of the communities that we have to do good things. So I'm going to let Mia introduce herself.
Hello, my name is Mia Isaksson. I am from Sweden and now sitting in wonderful Spain. And I have been into this helping the world to be a better place since I was very, very young. And now I found Yolanda to work with, which is amazing. And we created Somuno, which means we are one in Spanish, somos uno. And I have so many visions and dreams about the future. And I would like to share some of them, if it's okay with you, Yolanda.
One of the reasons, one of the most important reasons that me and I connected is that we have a bit of a spiritual side, but how to put this, very down to earth. So not judging other people for being different, accepting that, despite our differences, we can all come together. Forget ego, forget spiritual ego, forget trying to convert people. We should take the best bits that we all have and work together. So what's your vision? Yeah, tell them.
Amazing. I was thinking exactly about that yesterday, that I actually have the possibility to be up in the sky, in the blue, and fly away in visions and dreams without limits. But I'm also very grounded. I have both feet in the dirt, literally, because I'm working in my garden as well. But what I want to share today is my this really unlimited vision, and I try to think about it without limitations, with not thinking about there's not enough money, there's not enough people, there's not enough energy or whatever. I'm trying to create it from a state of mind where everything is possible. And this vision is not meant to be like this is how it has to be in the future. This is not meant to be for everyone. This is one vision, and I'm one in some billions, so there will be others. So this is not something that, oh, this is how it's going to be. This is more meant
Sorry to interrupt you, Mia, but something I want to point out. I think the reason the world is in the state it's in is what you just said. It's not competition. There are other people who do amazing things. You know, it doesn't have to be our way. It doesn't have to be only our opinions. There are millions of people doing good stuff. And people get very focused on that. You know, you have to join our club. You have to follow our guidelines. And it's not about that.
right. So I lost my track a bit.
You're thinking of it from just, from a big worldview, no limitations.
Yeah. And yeah, I want to tell it to inspire others to dream big as well. So that's the thing. And I had this vision like 3, 4, 5 years ago. I don't remember when it started. That we should build like call it retreats, communities, re-education centers, like all over the world, and then let these education centers, whatever you want to call it, grow and connect with other centers all over the world. And in the future, there will be possible for you to go on internet, like you go on booking or something today, and you can put in your criteria. What do you want to learn? What do you want to contribute with? Where do you want to go? Do you want sunshine? Do you want snow? Do you want more education? Do you want it more spiritual? Do you want to learn about growing food? So whatever you want, there will be a possibility to go to a beautiful, nice place, and you can both work or contribute, depending on how we want to see it or call it, and also learn a lot of things. And I think that it's important now for humanity, for all of us, to learn important things which we didn't really learn in school, in my opinion. What do you think, Yolanda?
Definitely, because I think that's why a lot of people are frustrated and they don't even realize it. So we all know that in school they teach you how to work. They don't teach you life skills. They don't teach you to be independent. And that frustration, the fact that people aren't thriving, is because they know deep down that there's more that they could do, that they want to do. And creativity isn't valued. And that's such an important part of the process. And coincidentally, the people who are creative, who think outside the box, they're the ones who question things. So, and this is not, I don't mean this in a conspiracy, we're programmed. We've just allowed it to go down that route through being passive, through not arguing. You know, we're all at home on our computers going, oh, that's really bad, but do we actually do anything to change it? So it's about a balance. It's gone a little bit over the practical work, money, and we need to bring it back in balance and also have the creativity. You can do both. It doesn't have to be one or the other.
Exactly. And today, I talked about it in my last video, actually, about division, that we are either extremely there or extremely there. There's nothing in the middle. And as I see this re-education centers, is that we should learn things that really has a value, how to take care of ourselves, each other, to really be together with family. And family doesn't have to be bloodlines, it can be family, like Yolanda is my family as well. And I don't think we have any blood in common, but it should be about how to take care of the earth, how to grow, how to eat healthy, how to live healthy, all of this stuff that more and more people actually want to.
But that's also empowerment. It's not about being, again, it's this black and white thinking. If you learn that stuff, it's not about being a hippie just because somebody wants to go and live in in a community or whatever, or learn spirituality. It's empowerment. As an example, what's happening now? So, of course, having the government involved and people administer is necessary to some extent because you're talking about managing stuff for millions of people. But because we've allowed that, because we've been lazy and allowed that to happen, now it's getting to the point of, in Spain, for example, you're not allowed to have more than I don't know how many chickens. Otherwise, you'll get fined. So we're going to get to a point where we don't grow our own food at all, nobody, and it's all dependent on a central source, which in theory is very efficient. But then we're at the mercy of price increases, changes, etc. So it's also about empowerment. Yes, we can have, people there doing the administration, connecting stuff, but we shouldn't give away our ability to do that as well.
Wonderful. And my idea with this re-education centers is that you can have different topics. You can come there, you can stay there for a longer time or for a shorter time. You could see it as a holiday, or you can decide, I want to live here for a few years, many years. And you can bring your skills and you can also learn. So you can choose one where you can really contribute and also learn a lot of things. And like you said, it doesn't have to be this kind of community that people have been talking about and trying, because they very often fail. So I think it's a good idea to have some kind of like a business structure, at least some very clear structure. Because what is very often happen with the communities is that there is problem with money, and someone wants this and the other one doesn't want that. And so I see this, at least to start with, maybe for 10 years or 100, I don't know, but to start with, in a little bit of a business kind of structure with a board or like a group of elders or whatever you want to call it, to really make sure that everything works. And the more we develop, maybe we can have it in a more fluffy way. And but to start with, very well organized and like running a retreat business.
Well, for example, some of the common patterns and problems from the past were that people think it either has to be all fluffy, hippie, socialist, everybody's free, everybody shares, but then people don't pay attention to the business aspect of it. And if you want something to continue, we live in this world where, you know, certain things cost money. Or it's been very much the other way, whereas like things have to be cut just because of profit. And really what we need is somebody does one side and somebody does the other, and we come in the middle and we do what's best overall. And for example, what you were saying about learning, I mentioned to you, I think it's in Denmark, they have a human lending library. So that, you know, you can go and borrow an elderly person. Because, for example, the elders in our society have so much knowledge that's being lost, and they're just, you know, they're there, nobody really pays attention to them. They could bring so much into it. There's also communities where, you know, tribal communities where children are involved in the decisions that will affect the community. I'm not saying just because a child says, I want this, they're going to do it. But because they know children have a much more unfiltered view of life, and it will also, you know, they're actually taken into consideration. And that's what we don't do. The adults in the room, the ones who are in charge, in family, in government, whatever, they always think they know best. And we should take information from all parts.
And that is so important nowadays, like you say, to really take care of the knowledge that the older people have, and also take all the new energy that the young people are bringing in. And I could talk for hours and hours and hours about all my visions, but as you mentioned, old people, one idea could be like one of these centers also have a lot of older people living there, which can be beneficial both for them because they can get help with the physical stuff that they can't manage, and they could take care of children. They could take care of things where they use their brain more or things like that, to really bring their knowledge. And I'm
Well, for
seeing,
example,
sorry.
no, go on, go.
No, I'm seeing that these centers, they can grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger, and maybe be even like a community, maybe a small town in the future, and we can bring in more and more things into one center. You can grow more food. You can even start to produce food on a bigger scale. Maybe like you talked about chickens, you can have a lot of chickens, but still do it in a nice way where you treat the animals well, you feed them well, and you take care of the land and everything in a good way. You can even have some of these centers could be like new buildings where you build from the new standards, environment friendly, sustainable, and everything, and experiment with materials. Maybe some of them can be where you live in a tent, or you can at least have the choice to live in a tent, but also I imagine you can have a big castle and you can make a beautiful luxury place where you can learn about the old culture, how they lived in the castle, among different epochs in history, and how it was and what war were going on. So you can like learn history by living in the castle and be like the servant for one day and the queen for one day. So for me, it's like no limits.
Well, for example, that's one of the reasons that me and I want to do this Somuno, because we want to highlight, like we want to interview people or bring to light projects are already happening. Because you try to talk about these kind of stuff to regular people or people who are just in their, very work home money. And you mention these projects and they could immediately dismiss it because like that would never work. That's too difficult. La la la. No, that's over there. I don't know. But as an example, she was saying about mixing things. There are centres where they will have a nursing home and a nursery in the same building. And then at some point during the day, they'll interact. So the little kids, nursery school kids, will go and interact with the people who are in the nursing home. And it brings them to life. It's great for the kids because, for example, maybe there's not so much connection with grandparents nowadays. It brings the elderly people to life because they're interacting with the young people and it's beneficial. It seems like such a crazy simple idea that's not done anymore. We'll just, you know, put the old people over there, they just need to be looked after and sat around and basically wait to die, which is insane. They still have so much to give and so much life. They just need a purpose. And for the young kids, socializing is not just about socializing with people of your age. By interacting with the elderly, they're learning respect, they're learning lots of stuff. And
And
so, sorry, go on.
well, go on.
And there's so many projects like that I've heard about, so many, and it seems insane. They already exist. This is not something that's impossible that we have to start from scratch. They already exist. So that's what we want to highlight and find a way to bring people together.
And this is my idea with this, that under the umbrella of one center, you can have so many things. So there will be space for everybody's dreams and creativity under one center, or you can start your own. It depends on if you are the entrepreneur and you want to be like, oh, I want to start one, or maybe you can say, oh, I'm into art and I want to paint or do things like that. Then you can just join one of the centers and offer what you have to give to them. And like we were talking about kids, this could be an amazing way to educate kids, because sitting in a school, it was boring for us, but for children nowadays, they have already bigger visions. They come in with a new energy. That's why school doesn't really work anymore. And I think if you have a big community place, then the children can go, if they are interested in animals, then they can be together with the adults working with the animals and learn. And of course, they can learn how to read and write at the same time. But you can really see that, no, but I like seeds and I want to plant stuff, and that's what makes me going. And then the kids can really get educated in everything. First of all, they get educated, but by being in a nice environment where people are caring, and not be in a sterile house where everything is the same. So this is like endless, and this is a shout out to everyone. Where in this concept could you fit, if you are interested and you want to be part of it? But what is your dream, your vision? What do you like to do? When do you get excited? And when you're bored at work and you dream away somewhere, where is that? Where are you going? And see that this can be not only my future, not only your future, but our future.
Something I want to mention here, which is another issue, is that again, another black and white is if you're spiritual, you shouldn't earn money from it. You should either do it volunteer or make the minimum. In the future that we would like to see, money shouldn't be the primary factor because there's more than enough to go around. The problem is the way it's distributed. But let's work with what we have right now without stressing about what shouldn't be. It's okay to make money from doing something good. You're offering a service. People can choose to pay for that service or not. Why shouldn't you make money? Because, the more money you make, the more people you can help. Some people will volunteer their time. They don't need the money. Other people will make it a business. They're more business mindset. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. We have to stop shaming that. I've heard a lot of people say, I don't know, whatever. People are greedy because they're asking money for their services. Come on, we live in a world where you have to pay your bills, etc., etc. And if we do what we're trying to do, we can move away from that much quicker instead of waiting for somebody to change it, somebody in government.
Mhm. No, and here again, it's either people say that if you're really spiritual, then you should give everything away and live poorly, and you shouldn't ask for money for whatever you do. Or people are to the extreme that the only thing that is important is making money, and they can go over corpse to be rich. And again, we need to come to the middle where it's okay to work for free if you want to, but it's also okay to make a lot of money if you want to, but not a big issue in either extreme corner.
As well, the ripple effect that that would have worldwide if people maybe you just want to do it at the weekend. You don't have to give up your job, but at least you have the option to switch mindset or whatever. The ripple effect that this would have on the world as a whole, people would be less stressed. They're doing something that they're passionate about or they like or whatever. Maybe you're 80 years old and you want to learn singing. Why not? Somebody who wouldn't change their job to follow their passion for art, but they have an outlet because there are retreats that they can go to
Mhm.
and it fills their soul. So, as a person, we're going to be happier. That changes the vibration because why is there so much conflict? We're all stressed out, uh, you know, need to make money, need to be better. They're going to do this to us. Let people do what they want. It's the intention. As long as you're not overstepping, you're not trying to invade people's life. If we were all happier, we wouldn't have half the conflict we have in this world.
And I think this is one way to make us more happy.
Me and I are very big on forget the negativity, not interested in the negativity. We see the problems, we see the issues, we just choose not to focus on it. I mean, I'm sure you're the same here. I've been accused so many times of like, you're not realistic, you're too idealistic, etc., etc., etc. It's not that I don't see the issues, but why would I waste my energy on negative crap that's not going to do me any good. It's not going to do my family any good, and it's not going to do society any good.
I've done a lot of videos about that as well. And what you focus on, you create. And I rather focus on this dream than than something negative, because I don't want negativity in my future. Of course, there will always be negative stuff, but I rather focus on creating something nice and good. So
Why do you think, apart from obviously, what we've been taught, what we've learned, why do you think people are so focused on the negative and fighting? I know a lot of people who, for example, you and I have seen a lot of changes over the last few years, and we think it's going in a positive way. But you know, if you watch the media, it's all doom and gloom and
mhm.
whatever. What is the core reason that people are so focused on the negative and that everything has to be a fight?
Mm. Sorry, I hope the neighbors doesn't bother you because they're starting to play music and everything. It's Sunday, so
No, it's fine.
uh, no. But I think that we have been taught to be in victimhood. We have been taught and conditioned that one thing is that humanity is evil, that people think that humanity, every person like inside is evil, that's the source we are coming from. And of course, if you think that, there you can give up already, because you can't create anything, because there will be evil people all around you all the time. And we have all this like negativity programmed in us. And I think it's important that we set set ourselves free from that. And to me, I see as see it as we come from light. We don't come from evil. We all are connected to something brighter, and if we really focus on that, this light will grow and be bigger and bigger and bigger. But of course, if you believe that, and many people say, looking at history, people have been killing each other. There have been power games. There have been, all. I don't have to talk about it. We know, and they say that is the evidence that it's it's no it's not an idea. There is not possible. It's so hopeless.
So, what I would like to say to people who use that as an excuse, it's because that's the way it's always been done, and that's the way we have allowed it to be. And so, this is our chance. It doesn't have to be radical. We're not talking anarchy. We can change things right now. Stop focusing. We can't do it because it's too big. Change what you're doing in your little area. Do something for you, you know.
And I
So,
think, sorry.
no, go on, go on.
I think now is a really good time to do this. First, we have computers, internet. We have social media, which is not always good, but we can use it for good stuff. And we really have the possibility now to connect, to learn, and we can see that the old system is so bad, so it's collapsing, which is actually, before we can create something new, something old has to go, which we can see it's going. And I think in a bigger perspective as well, humanity has been in a very low valley for a long time, and now it's time to rise up. And it's up to all of us, and we can't force anyone. But I did a video about this not too long ago, that you need to choose what train you want to be on. And if you want to go more down, it's fine, just go, but make sure that you really make a choice, that you're not like a victim just jumping on any train and see where it takes you. But now it's time to choose, how do you want your future.
So, just to finish off, so this is what our project is about. Firstly, creating the opportunity to bring people together in the kind of centers that Mia's talking about, and also giving a platform to people who are already doing this stuff. Because it's so easy to think it's, some random wacko hippie off in the middle of the woods or something. And it's absolutely not. There are people in cities doing amazing work, alternative projects. So we really want to show you it's already possible. This isn't some pie in the sky. It's already possible. And then many more people doing it than you think.
And if you have an idea, and it doesn't have to be like the final idea, even if you have maybe a beginning of a project in your mind, if you could come on to our platform and do a video where you can present it, uh, then the chances of this being reality is of course very much bigger. And you can find people who want to join, you can find people with the same idea, you could find people who maybe have done something like that, and they can give you some advices. You can find sponsors, you can find people who want to support you and share it. So, but if you're just sitting in your little world and having your ideas, there will not happen.
So there you go. Please get in contact with us. Tell us your idea. We'll do everything we can to help you get people to your project. As Mia said, the more visibility you have, the more chance there is that somebody could either help you, participate, finance. You never know. You have to believe in a little bit of magic. But, let us interview you. Let us help you get your ideas out there. And combining all of these ideas without competition, without ego, because, the better we all do, the better society does. We can be better. We can be happier as a whole because we affect each other. This bit does sound weird, but the whole vibration thing, it. Even if you're not into spirituality, if you're with people who are happy and positive, that makes you happy and positive. If you're with people who are negative, doom and gloom, have no vision, don't even try, that will bring you down. So let's raise ourselves together.
And let's go together into a wonderful future. I'm so much looking forward to the next coming years. I'm sure so many things will actually start to happen now. So,
Absolutely. All right. Well, till the next time.
okay, thank you very much. Hope to see you soon again. Take care. A lot of love to everyone. Ciao, ciao.